Is this you? Are you the friend that's always stopping to go to the bathroom? I have a small bladder. Listen, there are some structural and anatomical reasons why few people have a small bladder, but most often the problem lies in the habits that we have around peeing. And the biggest one would be the just in case pee. Few things that I want you to understand. The bladder is a muscle, and so it can stretch like a balloon. It is held partially closed by the pelvic floor, and its big boss is the brain. Now, I'm going to show you with my exceptional art skills how a normal functioning bladder should work. Here's your bladder, your big balloon, your brain, the big boss, and this is your pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor and the bladder are both muscles, different type of muscles, but both muscles. What I want you to understand is they can never be doing the same thing at the same time, meaning that right now, while you're just sitting here, your bladder is relaxed because it's filling with urine. Your kidneys are dumping urine into your bladder. Your pelvic floor is the one that's on. It's on right now, tightened on just enough to make sure nothing's dripping out the bottom, okay? When your bladder starts to fill, as it does at rest, it's going to hit a point. Let's say here, 25% full, and it's going to hit a receptor, and it's gonna send a message to the brain and say, I have to pee. And your brain's gonna say, no, you're okay. You're only 25% full, keep doing what you're doing. And so more pee comes in, more urine comes in. Let's say it hits now 50% full, and same thing, receptor hits, brain says, no, you're still okay, 50%. Let's say you're at the mall, you're walking around with your friends, and all of a sudden you start to get a little bit more of an urge. Let's say you're at 85% now. The message that goes up to the brain is the same, I have to pee, and this time the brain says, you know what? Yes, you are starting to get full. You need to go find a bathroom. So you go find a bathroom as soon as you can. Oh, shoot, there's a lineup. But you're still okay because your system's functioning normal. And when I say okay, you're not leaking because your pelvic floor is not allowing you to. The pelvic floor says, not safe, you can't empty yet, so nothing's coming out the bottom. Your bladder is starting to say, I have to go. It's starting to want to tighten. It's saying it's my turn to go, but it's not a safe place, so the brain won't allow that to happen. But eventually it's your turn. The lineup has gone down, it's your turn. You get into the stall, you crouch down, you take off your pants, take off your underwear, sit on the toilet, and brain says, switch. And then your pelvic floor lets go, and your bladder's turn to tighten, and then off you pee. All the pee goes out, pelvic floor tightens, and the whole system starts over again. That's in a normal functioning bladder. The problem starts to happen. You start to end up with a bladder that feels small if you start responding to the lower numbers, because we can go to the bathroom whenever we want. You know what it's like. You might feel like you're only at a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10, but you're going to the appointment or something like that. I want to quickly go before, so you do a just in case pee. If you do that too often and start emptying here, then our brain essentially gets fooled. It starts thinking, oh, maybe I'm only this big, right? And so you end up starting to create a habit of having a small bladder. What I really want you to understand is that there are so many things at play here. There's not just one thing. This is the kind of thing that pelvic health physiotherapists or physical therapists work on. Not only do we help to kind of help you retrain your brain so that it's essentially not being tricked into thinking that you have a small bladder, but we can play a big role in these muscles. These guys, we want them to be able to say, no, not safe to go. Because unfortunately what happens, one of the reasons why people start getting into a just in case pee habit is they're leaking. They're leaking out the bottom, which tells us their pelvic floor is not quite doing its job. And so that might be the reason that they're always going to the bathroom. If we can make this guy do its job a little bit better, you'll trust yourself more to hold it more than 25%, okay?